Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula bore formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Work, Gina Ricci. And what is going on?
I agree with you, first of all, and we have an extraordinary group of people that Jay Levine brought here today, Sean Callaghy, and what are we all doing here?
You know, influence is in fact a superpower. We could all have lunch and get to know each other, or in an hour, we could explore what controls our selling, our marketing, our managing, our leading, our recruiting, our fundraising, for profit and not for profit. In fact, controls every aspect of our money, our time freedom, and our magic. All the things that we want to experience in the world and cause with other people. That's what we're playing with. So Gina, may I first introduce our co-host?
Please.
G-Money. Come on, G-Money.
Let's do it. Who is it?
This amazing person started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. Then she progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Not easy to do. But more extraordinarily, in a male-dominated industry, she became the first woman ever, but not only the first woman ever, the youngest person ever at the ripe young age of 24 to become the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. And now she causes sales to double for companies, helps professionals grow their practice, and in fact is running all over the country and the world with this Unblinded ecosystem from places like Tomorrowland in Europe all the way through Tony Robbins events, professional events like NJSBA, the National Investment Banking Association, will be speaking in a couple weeks, and all the beautiful, incredible things. The co-host of The Heart of Influence, the one, the only, let's hear it for Bella Verita.
Sean and everyone, so great to be here.
Yeah, Bella, awesome, and thank you so much for everything that you do, coming fresh off of an incredible trip to Utah and Florida and all the things. And Bella, we're going to ask everyone, and maybe you could show us how it's done, to share a fun fact in a moment. This could be an incredibly proud moment. It could be a super embarrassing moment. It could be the best moment, the worst moment of your life, or something just really unique or kind of recent. So Bella, but at the end of it, it's like, no way. Like whomever we're talking to, like, no way. That's the game of fun fact. Bella, what's your fun fact?
I'm going to go with something that I am proud of. And I am proud because just this weekend, we were in Utah
and speaking on Chris Krohn's stage. And you had the opportunity to step on stage and raise money for refugees in the Ukraine. And I think that they were hoping to maybe raise like $500,000. They thought was, a great number. And we you ended up raising, I think it was 1.25. And it was so heartfelt and emotional and moving, and to watch the room for such a great cause. I couldn't have been more proud in that moment.
Well, thank you. And of course, the magic of Tink, your work and effort, Adam Fernando, everyone, of course, the Chris Krohn world, all co-created that magic, but it was an honor and privilege to do it. And I think to just contextualize that a little bit more, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, Chris Krohn asked me to go to the Ukraine with him. I'm like, the Ukrainian? What, are you out of your mind? And we were there on a Sunday where missiles were going over our head in Kyiv. We spent 3 days in the Ukraine, met some of the most extraordinary, courageous humans, a bunch of American former special forces people, extracting civilians, people in refugee camps, people serving orphans. It was just an unbelievable trip. And we raised $1 million to do that. We came back, Chris had an event, asked me to go on stage and said, I hope that maybe you could raise $200,000. That would be incredible. That's about 6 weeks ago. And we co-created a magical moment, and we raised $2,600,000. And then he said, would you come back? I have a new event, like half of the audience is the same. I'm like, Chris, so many people have already donated. Obviously, we can't ask them to donate more. So let's bring them up and acknowledge them in a beautiful way for everything that they've done. And with the remaining folks, which is only about 125 people in the room, let's give them the opportunity to do something beautiful, maybe even go on the next Ukraine mission. And we raised another $1,250,000. So all told, $1 million plus 2.6, 3.6, and 1.25. We're approaching $5 million for the Krohn Foundation, for refugees and other people in the Ukraine and all that's going on there. And this money isn't like send it off somewhere that you don't know about. These are people and charities that we directly worked with and we went over there. So it's been a truly remarkable journey. And that's just a fraction of what's possible with the superpower of integrous influence. And Steph, obviously, or Bella, you're a core part of that, and we couldn't be more grateful. So Bella, should we get on to introducing some of these incredible people that are here today?
Yes, let's get to know some of these incredible people, some from Jay. I think some people know Drew, Craig. So it's an incredible group of people today that are here to all meet each other. So let's go, Gina.
And of course, Jay Levine, thank you. And G, who we got?
Thank you. First, joining us from Newark, New Jersey, Counsel at Genova Barnes with a focus on political and corporate law, chair of the Autonomous Vehicle Law Practice, and featured along with you, Sean Callagy, in the 2022 New Jersey ROI Influences of Law. Please, let's all put our hands together and welcome Avi Kelin to the Heart of Influence.
Avi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. We want to get these autonomous vehicles going. I'm blind. I need a car, dude. Can you help me out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
People think that autonomous vehicles are, it's going to be easy. Just you can do work, you can do email in the car. But I think the real key is it's going to let people have mobility that don't currently have mobility. And I think that's the real key to what we're working on now.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, appreciate that so much. And how about a fun fact, please?
Yeah, a fun fact is, I guess since the pandemic started, I've been trying to teach myself how to bake. It's going pretty well. I found that the secret is add a lot of butter to things, and it's working out pretty well so far.
Oh, that is awesome. And by the way, congratulations on being on Influence, featured in and selected to Influencers of Law. And we're really grateful for you being here today, Avi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gina.
Next, from Albany, New York, this man stepped into finance at 22 and immediately began mentoring interns. And due to his success, was named Chief Development Officer for his entire region at the ripe young age of 29, and now back to building clientele relationships and a team serving high net worth. Please, let's all welcome Eric Hungershafer to the Heart of Influence.
Eric, how are you?
I'm great, Sean.
Well, thanks for being here. And what's your fun fact, Eric?
My fun fact would be I started playing the sport of lacrosse in 10th grade. Ooh. And went on to play Division I. And I don't know if there's nowhere to really verify this, but I believe I'm the only 4-year Division I lacrosse captain. in the history of lacrosse.
Whoa.
Dude, that's a sick, crazy fun fact. We've had more than 3,250 people on the Heart of Influence, and we've had more than 550 shows. We originally called it The Real Raw, and now we're calling it the Heart of Influence. We think it's more appropriately named that way. And Eric, that's unbelievable. I mean, we've heard, again, thousands of fun facts. That's like a top tenner. And please, what university did you play for?
Siena College. It's local to Albany.
Yeah, that's beautiful and extraordinary. So from one Division I college captain to another, I was the captain of the Columbia University baseball team in 1992. But brother, I was a one-time captain, a four-time captain. I've never in my life heard of such a thing. So congratulations on your beautiful leadership. And if you give like one headline of your leadership to teach people about leadership, Eric, what would that headline be?
Be authentic.
Amen. Drop the mic. One word with absolute certainty, Gina. Eric's here. Who else do we have?
Joining us from Bridgewater, New Jersey, she's the founder of Lawrence Law, Divorce and Family Lawyers, and is the president of the New Jersey State Bar Association and immediate past president of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, New Jersey chapter. Also certified by the Academy as a family law arbitrator. Let's all welcome Jeralyn Lawrence to the Heart of Influence.
Jeralyn, thank you for being here. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. And how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing great. And by the way, I hear that you're a very inspirational speaker.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear.
Yes, because I had somebody who was spying on you in a recent speaking engagement. Might you have spoken at to the incoming class at Seton Hall Law School?
I did. I spoke to all 3 New Jersey law schools last week.
Wow.
It was very exciting.
Well, thank you for inspiring my son. He's a first year at Seton Hall, and he said that you did truly, I mean this sincerely, I'm not just making this up, said you did a really extraordinary job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And he is definitely a critical, tell it like it is, genuine, real person. So for him to say that, it definitely had to be phenomenal.
Oh, well, that means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you for all that you do. And yes, what's your fun fact, Jeralyn?
Fun fact is I played Division III college basketball at Kane College, but was never captain ever.
That's awesome. What position did you play?
Well, I was actually considered tall growing up at 5'8". When I got to college, so I was the 5 through high school, but in college I was more of the 3.
Well, look at Jeralyn dropping positional basketball language.
Well, that's my favorite thing to do. I coach my kids as well in basketball. So.
Awesome. And where did you grow up and go to high school, Jeralyn?
Wayne Hills.
You went to Hills?
I did.
One of our
definitely not Valley.
Wow, one of our extraordinary team members here at Unblinded went to Valley and was a 3-sport athlete over there. I think you were a little bit different chronologically, but played there as well. And what town or programs do you coach your children in now?
So we live in Watchung. So yeah, just rec basketball here.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Jeralyn, thank you so much for being here. Actually, let me go one more. If you were to share anything that people should understand about the bar and the Bar Association, one thing that would be like, you wish people understood differently about New Jersey Bar or lawyers in general, what would that be?
I think the most important thing about the Bar Association is the personal connections and the relationships that you build there. That's been a career changer for me. And really the relationships I've built through the people that I've met there have nurtured and sustained me through my journey for the past 20-something years.
Beautiful.
The most important part.
And I think we have one more fun fact. Is it true that you may have graduated from Seton Hall Law School in 1996?
That is absolutely true.
Which would make us classmates graduating together. Were you
That's
aware
what
of this?
I've heard. I am aware of that.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, Jeralyn, thank you so much for being here. Go Pirates, and thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Gina.
Next, coming to us from North Bergen, New Jersey, she's got 20 years in mortgage lending, exceeding operational goals of 33 million in sales yearly, was previously a private client mortgage banker at Chase, partnered with personal bankers at 3 locations and private wealth management clients with more complex files and assets over 3 million. Let's all put our hands together and welcome Agnes Byrne to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you.
Agnes,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Welcome. And what's your fun fact, Agnes?
So my fun fact, I got my degree at the University of Illinois. I'm a Big Ten girl. I have a couple kids who have gone to Indiana and Iowa. And when I was at U of I in my summers, I was a Gray Line girl. So I speak French and Italian and German. And so for the 3 summers that I was there, became a Gray Line girl, learned all about the city of Chicago, and gave people tours. It was great fun, made long-term friends, and was a really fun adventure for me.
Well, very cool. So how many languages do you speak?
I speak Italian and French and German. So my grandmother was from Hungary, so she spoke 8 languages and always sort of fostered the love of language. And when we would go out, would have us listen to the table to decipher the language. Is it Polish? Is it Russian? And so I just kind of fell into it and loved it. And so I've had the joy of being able to travel to all of those countries. So that's been a lot of fun.
Well, beautiful, Agnes. And so from one Big Ten dad to a Big Ten mom. Salute. My children, my youngest, my son Tyler, going to law school right now. My oldest, I should say, graduated from University of Maryland, and my youngest daughter just became a sophomore there. So go Big Ten.
Wonderful. Yep, Big Ten.
Well, thank you, Agnes, for being here. Gina.
Next up, coming from Provo, Utah. This man joined a business solutions company 3 years ago as the CRO, building their client base and outreach, and started with 1 partner as a proof of concept. Now, a few dozen partner companies and 7,000 agents around the country utilizing their tools. Let's all welcome Ethan Galloway to the Heart of Influence.
Ethan, welcome to the party as somebody who just flew back from Salt Lake City.
I was going to say, Sean, Bella, I think I missed your call last week. What happened?
Well, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. And please, what is your fun fact?
I just like Avi about a year ago, I was just looking for a new hobby and stumbled upon a little community wood shop. Had never done any woodworking before in my life. Met some guys there who taught me wood turning, and now I teach the class once a week over there, wood turning. We make bowls and pens and salt and pepper shakers and you name it.
That's fun.
Bring wood back to its natural shape is what we say, round. So.
Very cool. Well, awesome, brother. And what's your mission, vision, purpose? Like, what's it all about in the big picture?
Are you talking about for the fun fact or in general?
In general, life.
In general, well, we here at Wave, we are big believers in like transforming how communication works, making it seamless communication to facilitate and foster the building of relationships, right? And that's really our purpose, is bring communication into your business in a way that's going to help you build relationships with the people around you.
Awesome, brother. Well, appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today, Ethan. Gina, we got Ethan.
Now we're coming back to the East Coast, Garden City, New York. She's the Director of Alumni Relations and Annual Giving at Hofstra University Law. She previously was in private practice focused on general liability and insurance coverage, and closed out the most successful campaign in the history of the school, far surpassing the original goals of the directors. Let's all welcome Courtney Zucker to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you for the introduction.
Courtney, welcome to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Courtney, what's your fun fact, please?
My go-to fun fact is that when I was about 6 years old, I was the final two to play Benjamin Bratt's daughter on Law and Order. And I blew it by saying that my mom told me never to hug or kiss a stranger, and they wanted me to hug him at the audition, and that was the end of my acting career. And now here I am as the director of alumni relations at the law school.
Unbelievable fun fact, Courtney. That is truly extraordinary. Was that the last audition you went on?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Game over, party over. And what's life about for you at this point? Why do you do what you do?
So I actually transitioned into my role from private practice about a year ago. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary at the law school next week. And I always just had an affinity for being in my law school. And I always wanted to find my way back and connect with other alums and facilitate connections between each other. And I think that was one thing that was kind of missing from the alumni perspective, since I am a graduate of the law school myself. So I'm just trying to bridge the gap there and, connect our community.
Well, thank you so much for sharing space with us here today. We're going to have some fun. Gina.
Next, we're going to Roseland, New Jersey, representing companies in environmental litigation at Lowenstein Sandler, advising on environmental and sustainability matters in real estate and corporate transactions. He's the previous chair of the Legislative Committee of the New Jersey State Bar Association LGBTQ Rights Section. Let's all welcome Zach Berliner to the Heart of Influence.
Zach, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for being
Great.
here. And what's your fun fact, please, Zach?
Sure. So I always have to say this. I'm actually an identical twin. My brother and I went to undergrad and law school together. We are both environmental lawyers now. I mean, he does a different work than me, but for a time we actually worked at law firms that were across the street from each other. So yeah,
fun.
and we lived together. So can't stray too far away. So that's been a very unique experience for me.
Zach, it's not like one of you do plaintiff's work and like one does defense work, is it?
No, not quite. that would be funny, but no. Yeah.
So Zach, can I share a corollary fun fact?
Sure.
The craziest job interview that I had coming out of Seton Hall in 1996 was at your firm.
Oh, nice.
And I sat with the managing partner, and he took me through what he was working on. Nothing like this happened anywhere else, right? I interviewed at McCarter, Sills, Wilentz. I ended up going to work at Wilentz. Mm-hmm. And he took this crazy environmental dynamic. I don't remember the gentleman's name at the time. And he started just asking me all of these questions and how it interrelated with election law. And I'm like, I had no idea about it. I did get the job offer, but I had no idea what in the name of God he was talking about in any way, shape, or form. And the only other more challenging thing I ever did was take a constitutional law exam with Judge Gibbons in my life, the former chief judge of the Third Circuit, who was in Seton Hall at the time. But it was a crazy, challenging job interview. So I hope, Zach, that you do not put young law students through that dynamic when they come to interview.
I was going to say, I'm happy to report that my experience and the experience I now give to others that I interview is very different than that. So.
It was fun. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And what's life about? So what's the big picture about for you, Zach?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, I think the two things is, one, I just try to be happy. And the other thing is I really am passionate about environmental issues and sustainability and trying to address that issue from many different perspectives. So I that's a big part of what I do on a daily basis.
Well, I just had the privilege of speaking at an event called Love Tomorrow in Belgium, which is a part of Tomorrowland, and it was a beautiful purpose of the founders of Tomorrowland, these folks from Love Tomorrow, that said, Tomorrowland's incredible, it's wonderful, a bit hedonistic, a bit crazy. Like, what if we took all that beautiful energy, channeled it into a conversation about sustainability? So thank you for all the work that you do in the world as a father. So it was a beautiful place to be. And I'm the father also of a wildlife ecology major who's all about it. So thank you for the work you do in the world and working on sustainability, because I do believe that's the only way we solve these challenges. And thanks for being here today, Zach.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Gina.
Two more guests to introduce. Next up from Washington, D.C., she's the Senior Business Development Strategist and diversity, equity, and inclusion advisor at Paul Hastings, a 2,500 plus person law firm, recognized by Insights Magazine as one of the top of the 10 most inspiring women in business 2021, and serves as the co-chair of LMA, the Legal Marketing Association's Diversity, DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Special Interest Group, working closely with other organizations advancing the DEI initiatives. Let's all welcome Tahisha Fugate to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you.
And it's Tahisha, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Tahisha, thank you so much for being here. And what's your fun fact?
So I started in the legal industry kind of haphazardly, but I used to investigate software piracy back in the day. So it was really a thing where people would call in their employers and report them for software piracy.
That's extraordinary. And what's your favorite software pirating story without revealing too much?
Well, without giving too much, back in the day, a lot of the architectural software was often pirated.
Yes, it is. And you were catching these people.
Yes, we were catching these people.
This is beautiful. Well, Tahisha, thank you so much for that work in the world and what you do with diversity and inclusion. What's the driver there? What's your purpose and why behind diversity and inclusion?
So my purpose there is really, driving change in the legal industry, especially in big law, which is where my career has progressed in the last 20 years or so. And from where I sit with the business development lens, making business development more accessible for underrepresented attorneys to build their businesses and to make it a partnership.
Well, amazing. Thank you for all that you do in the world. Quick corollary fun fact is I had the privilege at Legal Week, I believe, with speaking with two of your partners. I was hosting a panel on ESG, and there were some incredible folks, one from Europe and one from the US. So your firm's reputation precedes it, and you do as well. So thank you, Tahisha, for being here today.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Gina.
Finally, our co-creator who brought some of these folks together today. He's the co-founder of 194 Real Estate Group with his wife, Catherine, since 2019. 18 agents, production of over 32 million, sits on multiple boards in his community, has up-leveled his influence massively. One of our Unblinded elite. Let's all please welcome Jay Levine to the Heart of Influence.
Jay, brother, thank you for being here today. Truly, you're a heart-centered leader, and the most impressive thing about you, Jay Levine, is your commitment to mastery, integrous mastery of rising, building, co-creating, and integrously sharing value with people. So, Jay, thank you so much for being here today. And please, Jay, your fun fact.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. We should make a habit of this. So my fun fact. All right. So in the spirit, I have a whole bunch. In the spirit of what Avi said and what Ethan said at them mastering something during the pandemic, something a little fun, I decided that I was going to start to grow things and plant seeds from eating fruit and planting seeds. Things were going great, Sean. I have grown in the last 2 years, probably 7 or 8 honeydews, pineapple plants, all things. And just recently I killed the last one. So I officially have none left because I do not have a green thumb. And I got them just to a certain point before they said, help me, help me, help me. And they all died. That was just recently. So yeah, it's now over and I'm going to go to the supermarket for fruit.
Congratulations on launching us with an uplifting and amazing fun fact. I appreciate it and love you enormously. I'm just teasing, Jay. Awesome job. And Bella, are you ready to do this thing?
I am ready to do this thing, Sean. But before we do that, I would love the honor and privilege to introduce my co-host, only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, and the only one that's blind. He's led trainings at companies for like Disney, T-Mobile, was recently named on the top influencer attorneys in New Jersey, and as we heard, has been honored and privileged to raise millions of dollars on Chris Krohn's stage, on Tony Robbins' stage, an incredible thought leader, passionate person, my co-host, Sean Callagy.
Well, thank you. 25 years ago, I became fascinated with the dynamic of how human beings influence each other integrously because I saw an extraordinary amount of lying in the legal system. And I saw ways that it was perpetrated and amplified massively. And as a fun fact, in that the quick detail, I was one of 2 attorneys at 1.2 million of 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16. And in both of those cases, we had these were business cases with $0 offers going into trial and achieved 8 figures in compensatory and 8 figures in punitive damages. And so what this show stands for at some level is how that superpower of influence brings integrity forth, not only in marketing, selling, but in managing, leading, recruiting, fundraising for profit, not for profit, and the legal system overall, and every system. So thank you everybody for being here. Bella, you are extraordinary.
And Sean, I think we had a last friend just join us.
We did. We have one more person that
This
came
is
in.
like extraordinary people jumping out of a clown car. Gina, who was it?
Finally, from Bronx, New York, this man is the founder of KYDA, Keeping Youth Dreams Alive, coach and mentor for the past 40 years, from high school JV teams, leading top amateur players in the nation. His true legacy is in numbers of young people that he has helped direct on the right path. Let's all welcome Coach Victor Hall to the Heart of Influence.
Coach, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it very much. I'm helping Coach get unmuted. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Hey, Coach, what's your fun fact? Something we would be like, Coach, really? No way.
I don't know what's wrong with the audio on my phone. That's why you see my ear.
Well, yeah, please. So
how's everybody doing?
We're doing great. And so what's a fun fact about you?
Okay. I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, what's a fun fact? Something we wouldn't expect to otherwise know about you.
Just a short story. Sometimes in playing ball, when I sprained my ankle, I used to go to the emergency room in the hospital, and they used to ask me, like, what's your father's name? And I would say Victor Hall, because I'm a junior. And they say, what's your mother's name? And I would say Gladys Hall. And then they would ask, what's your mother's maiden name? And I would say Gladys Hall. And they would say, no, you don't understand. Well, what they didn't understand was after a while, after playing with them for a while, I would let them know my mother, Gladys Hall, originally met my father, Victor Hall, and my mother's name never changed.
Oh, that's a super fun fact.
So, and I used to drive the hospitals, emergency rooms crazy with that. They would say, no, you don't understand. What was your mother's name before she got married? And I said, oh, before she got married to my father? They would say, yes. I would say, Hall. They said, no, you don't understand.
That's awesome, Coach. By the way, Coach, do you have familiarity with the Hurley family, basketball high school family from New Jersey, Coach Bob Hurley? Is that anybody that you've ever come across?
Oh, Bob Hurley, yes. I've had the pleasure of working at 5-star basketball camp while he was there sometimes.
Yeah, he's got deep connections to us in a variety of different ways, which we'll not delve into today. But Coach Hall, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing that super fun fact. So we're gonna get this game started, though. Bella, who's going first?
Bye, Gina. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Have fun.
We'll see you later. And let's start with our friend Eric.
All right, Eric, this is how this goes. Bella is going to be anybody you want her to be as we explore this Integra superpower of influence. Not like pitching, hooking, closing, but how do we authentically open the listening of people to cause yeses that should occur? So Eric, Bella could be an ideal client. She could be somebody in a charitable dynamic, a strategic partnership, or something else. Eric, who would you like Bella to be?
Potential client.
Awesome. And give us some quick demographic.
Professional, young family, doing well professionally and personally.
All right, Bella, you're a young, successful attorney. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, this is Eric Hungershafer. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Eric. How about yourself?
I'm great. I don't know if my name sounds familiar, but Sean Callaghy mentioned your name and thought we should have a quick conversation.
Yeah, he did mention that.
Oh, great. Okay. That's always helpful.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm great. So some of the great things Sean said about you, I thought were mutual, a mutual fit for myself as well. And that we should spend some time getting to know each other, and whether that leads to a professional relationship or personal, that's great. Just wanted to spend a couple minutes getting to know you and letting you know what I do.
Yeah. So what why don't you tell me a little bit about like what you do and where you think we might make a fit?
Yeah, so I'm a financial advisor, and I think that has some context, and that's important. But at the end of the day, myself, my partners, my firm, we find that we can spend a lot of time with our clients and educating them and really alleviating some of the stress in life when it comes to financial planning and what that means to them. And ultimately, Sean had a lot of great things to say about you, and
they're all true.
I believe it. I believe it. And so, what are some of the what does financial independence mean to you? Is that something you've ever thought about?
Yeah, probably my whole life. To me, it means being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
That's a good definition. I would agree. And so for a lot of our clients, I think, they get on the treadmill of life and they are busy and, with families and professional life. And we try to get them off the treadmill for a couple hours a year just to educate them and see if we can alleviate some of that stress. So I'd love to spend some more time and schedule a meeting and see where it takes us.
Yeah, just real quick, because, I talk to a lot of different financial firms and they're always wanting me to work with them. And so, in like quick 20 seconds, what would you say, kind of sets you guys apart? Like, why have a meeting with you, and switch from who I'm currently working with? Because I do work with someone already.
Yeah, so we find that most people own products. They don't particularly have a plan. And, for us, we know that most people are going to do planning at sometime between ages 35 and age 80. And we just try to microwave that process and make sure that why not, have some foresight and be able to, sit down 10, 20 years from now and look back and say we did things the right way.
Beautiful. Well, I can appreciate that, Eric, and I definitely look forward to having a conversation.
Great. Thanks.
Excellent work, Eric. Bella, who's going next?
That would be our friend Avi.
Avi, please, who would you like Bella to be?
Sure. Let's keep it in the family of a potential client. In this case, let's say you're, a professional, engineering, insurance, something like that wants to do government contracting. Awesome. And get involved in the political process.
I can't wait to work for the government.
Yes. And Avi, how large would the company be?
Could be anything. Could be, international firm. Could be, we work with, 10-person engineering firms also. So let's say mid-size for now.
All right, Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Avi Kelin. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Genova Burns. I got your name from my friend Sean, and he thought it would be worthwhile for us to meet.
He's always giving my number out.
Yeah, you should maybe get a new phone number or stop talking to Sean so much. Yeah. But anyway, he gave me a little bit of background, but why don't you tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
Yeah. So we are an engineering firm. We've got about 500 people. And we engineer things. We do things in engineering and make engineering.
That's awesome. Do you guys have any government contracts, or what kind of work do you do?
It is definitely something that we are looking into. We're well established. We've been established for a while now. And, we know that there are opportunities with the government, and we just haven't really, looked to see, what's possible, but something that we're open to now.
Yeah, so I think we should certainly talk about that. We work with a lot of engineering firms. It could be a small firm, could be a giant firm, definitely people that you've heard of and people in your field. They come to us for their government contracting and political needs. the way that one client explained it to us was the whole area of government contracting is a minefield. And if you're not careful, you're going to step on a mine. And we're one of the few firms that really focus on this area. So you probably have attorneys right now. I know you guys are doing well. You have 500 people. So we're not looking to replace what they do already. But if you ever decide to get involved again in the government contracting realm, we can help you get ready for that. We can make sure that you're not going to step on any of those mines, and make sure that we'll give you the best chance, and make sure that the legal part is not something you have to worry about, so that you can do what you do and go get those contracts.
That would be amazing. And are there any sort of, like, have you seen, typical mines that people kind of fall themselves into, and the biggest thing that you save people from?
Yeah, one thing that we work a lot with clients on is there are actually laws in many states that talk about how much someone can give in political contributions if they want to pursue government contracts. And normally, we talk to people that say, we
give a lot charitably, so that would be definitely something important to know.
Yeah, so and sometimes we see people that say, yeah, we're going to a different political event or charitable event every night. We need to understand the rules. But we also sometimes talk to people that say, we never do any of that. And then we'll say, are you sure about that? What happens if one of your engineers, their college roommate is running for mayor and he decides to write a check? You may not know that that's going to cost you an opportunity to do work in that town, and we can help you navigate that whole process.
Got it. That sounds amazing, Avi, and I definitely look forward to getting to talk again.
Sounds good.
Avi, thank you. Excellent work. Eric as well. Bella, let's go to the judges.
Let's go to the judges. All right, let's first start. Well, first of all, let me tell all of our friends what this looks like. So this is going to be 30 seconds of incredible feedback for Eric and for Avi. Something that they did great, something that they could maybe optimize, and then a score from 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation. 5 being if they bought you one of those fun fancy drinks at Starbucks, you'd probably meet them for, some Frappuccino or something. And 10 being you would rent a private jet and fly anywhere in the world just to have a longer conversation. So let's start with our friend Jeralyn. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Eric?
As to what I thought about him and speaking to you?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? And
like how masterful was his influence in connecting with and influencing Bella to move forward?
Oh, I thought he was terrific. And I share with Bella, financial planners are, you come into contact with a lot of them. So I thought that your question to him as to, why should I work with you when there's such competition? And I thought Eric did a great job in handling that question. So I don't, I thought he was.
And so what's your score for Eric on 1 to 10?
10. 10.
Whoa!
Nice job, Eric.
Jeralyn's jumping on a private jet to come see you. So
yes.
This is awesome.
I thought it was good.
Awesome.
That is beautiful.
Jeralyn. Yeah, excellent. Belle.
Let's go. Ethan, your 30 seconds of feedback for Avi.
That sounds great. So Eric, Avi, you both did phenomenal. I agree. And I tried to take some notes throughout. Avi, one thing I really liked is how you led in with, I think, some discovery questions to just find out, tell me more about the business and the work you do. That I think helped you hone in on a specific need. I think closing out, you could have made it stronger with a more specific ask to lead out how to move things forward. And I know it was short on time. I would score it an 8. I thought it was awesome. I'm a harder judge than some.
Beautiful. Great job. All right, let's go next with Agnes. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Eric. And you're on mute. You're on mute, Agnes.
All right. So Eric, I thought you did a phenomenal job. I particularly liked when you said that most people buy products and don't have a plan. So that really resonated with me. And, I thought you were easy to talk to. I would give you a 9 on that.
Ooh.
Thank you, Agnes.
So like that'd be like maybe a 6-seater jet instead of like the G4. There you go.
Right.
Let's go. Zachary, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Avi?
Yeah, sure. No, I really honestly echo exactly what Ethan said. I really liked how you let in, just tell me about yourself, and then you honed in on what the need was. It felt organic. It didn't sound like you were like trying to shark somebody into doing something. So a piece of constructive advice, I would honestly agree with Ethan, maybe something a little bit more specific in terms of what the ask would be. So honestly, my rating would be an 8 also. I was even thinking that before Ethan spoke. So sorry if it sounds like I'm copying him.
No worries.
Thank you,
Awesome job. Thank you, Zachary. And let's go, Courtney. Courtney, your 30 seconds of feedback for Eric.
I thought that you both did great. Eric, I agree with what was said. I know it's about being saturated with financial advisors. And I thought your response to the question as well, I also don't want to sound like I was copying, but I thought you did a really good job under pressure responding to a question that could be a difficult one to answer. So I would probably give you an 8 as well.
Nice. Thank you, Courtney. And Taisha, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Avi?
So I think I echo with many of the judges have already said. Avi, you did a great job. I supported a government contracts practice, so I know that is not necessarily an easy sell, but I do like that you led in with asking questions of the potential buyer. That's very important. So it didn't come in like you were trying to sell something, which is also very important, very subtle. I appreciated that. I would give you a 9.
Beautiful. And then last but not least, let's go Jay Levine. How about Jay? 15 seconds for Eric and 15 seconds for Avi.
I can do that. Starting with Eric. First off, before I start with that, you're all phenomenal. This is a high level phone call. So, just the fact that you're here making these types of calls is amazing. So phenomenal job all around. But if I had to give specific feedback, Eric, love the acknowledgments. Love that you were asking questions. What does financial independence mean to you? You said something in the beginning that you love authenticity, and that's what influence means to you. And the one thing I would say is be careful when you're going from head to heart, going from heart to head because you're thinking about something. It could come off as inauthentic because your certainty drops a bit. So having a little structure around the conversation would be super helpful. That's 1. So 8.3 for you. And then Avi, love the sense of humor. Loved how you opened the phone call. Again, more, I felt safe with you. Great context and contrast in some of the stories you were telling. And I would end with a little bit more Zeus energy. A lot of fun is good, but end with that certainty and that Zeus where you can make that agreement really pop through. So 8.9 for Avi.
Well, thank you, Jay.
You drop it in with some super specificity. So
absolutely. And real quick, I do want to say, because there are some, New Jersey folks in here that if you don't have a realtor that you're working with, you definitely want to consider Jay. When I first moved here, I had an apartment picked out. I went and saw it, didn't like it, called Jay, was like, I got to find something. I have 3 minutes. He's like, I'll be there. Showed me a place in 2.5 minutes. I was like, I'll take it. And then just took care of everything. And still to this day, if I have issues with the apartment or, something, I know I can always count on Jay. So
it was the quickest, longest deal I've ever had.
Awesome job, Jay. And yeah, I've known Jay for a long time. He is an extraordinary man, leader, entrepreneur, person in the community in all the beautiful ways. So thank you, Jay, for everything. And I guess, Bill, I can take a nap now.
No, we don't get to take a nap. Hopefully, if nobody has to leave at the top of the hour, we're going to stick around so that we can see Sean in the hot seat. You don't want to miss this because this is the point in the show that we get to do a little reverse role play and we get to put Sean on the hot seat and somebody gets to set a scenario that they would like to see Sean go from hello to yes. It could be something political, something pop culture, it could be getting a speaking engagement. A client It can be any of those things you get to choose from to go from hello to yes. And Sean, I think I want to choose, because this is always random and I don't ever get to choose. So I'm going to choose your fellow Seton Hall graduate, because I think, maybe she might want some payback as well. So Jeralyn, is there anything, and the harder that you make it, the better. So any scenario that you would like to see Sean go from hello to yes and with somebody here?
Oh, say it again, that Sean goes, so I can't give him like a hypothetical person to get to
yes.
Yes, I can or can't.
You can, and somebody here will play that hypothetical person.
Or Jeralyn.
Okay.
Or Jeralyn, or you can play that
Someone else
person.
could play. So play Putin and get him to get him to end the war in Ukraine.
Oh my God. Thank you, Jeralyn. That is awesome. That is not nothing, my friend. And Jeralyn has been a quiet, beautiful, heart-centered person and sniper waiting to go here perfectly. Excellent. So Jeralyn, who would you like to play President Putin?
Oh, you could pick Sean, but I was so moved that you went there. So to Ukraine, I thought that was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, that's a beautiful scenario. Thank you. So Belle, who do you want to choose to be that President Putin, or should I pick a number?
You can. I have someone in mind, or you can pick a number.
Listen, you put me on the hot seat, so whatever you want to do.
I'm feeling like Avi would play a very good President Putin. I'm feeling it. Avi, are you up for playing President Putin?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, you get to play it any way you want. This is obviously fictional role play.
Sure.
Or you can assign an Avi. We give the power of choice here. You can assign that to somebody else.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass. Also because I think my kids need me back on our vacation time, and I know we're kind of up at the hour, but it's been great to meet everyone.
Great to meet you as well. So,
all right, who do you want to nominate, Avi?
Bella, you did such a great job doing pretend clients before. I'll kick it back to you.
Okay. All right, Sean. How about you choose a number between 1 and 10?
7.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That would be Taisha.
All right, Taisha, would you play President Putin?
I don't know if I'm the right match for this. This could be quite interesting.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Interesting, the better.
Yeah. So, are you up for it? So there's no forcing, there's no pressure. Would you like to play President Putin and play the game, or no?
I would like to play the game, but I'm coming up on the hour as well, so I don't know how long we're gonna go at this.
It'd probably be about 3 minutes to 4 minutes. If you can't, that's okay.
Can we pick another number?
Yes. So.
All right, I'm gonna go Ethan. Ethan, are you up for playing Putin?
I was looking at Jay. I was pretty sure you were gonna just put the spotlight back on Jay.
No, that would be too easy. Because Sean and Jay know each other, so that would be way too easy. Jay might go easy on him or something.
This is a tough crowd. There's probably somebody more versed in Putin than I am.
You do not have to be well versed in Putin. You can be as well versed in Putin as I was in engineering.
Bring it on.
All right, let's go, Ethan.
Okay, so Mr. President, thank you so much. I know we only have 3 minutes to have this conversation, and I'm incredibly grateful that you granted this time. So thank you.
Well, I mean, we're here. Let's get to it.
So can I ask you, Mr. President, why did you even accept this conversation? I know we've signed NDAs. I will, of course, honor that at the highest level. But may I ask, why did you even grant me this time and this audience?
I'm still wondering that. Sometimes, you know how it is, people scheduling things around me, but it was on our calendar. We're here. I figured I'd hear you out. I just don't have a lot of expectation that there's going to be change, but tell me what you've got.
Yeah. Well, Mr. President, what I've got, I think, comes really from where your head and your heart are. So what I am believing at this juncture is that in your heart and your mind, This is an integrous and authentic engagement that is designed to protect something, which I've certainly heard you articulate, that matters to you and, as you perceive it, the Russian people. Am I so far hearing you, sir, correctly?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that's exactly what we want to do.
Yeah. And so may I ask then, Mr. President, what is your ultimate vision and purpose for Russia, its position in, and the world overall? And again, NDA, sir. So for Russia, for its position in the world, and for the world at large, what is your vision of all of this, if you could have it all your way, sir?
Russia has been undervalued for some time. And as a people, we have a lot to give and a lot to be able to share. And we look at the current actions as, both a first step forward to achieve that vision and an expression of what we feel like we can offer and do for the world.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. So, Mr. President, is it fair to say that you would like Russia's position in the world to be one of being authentically and integrally seen, valued, and understood for everything that it is in a world that functions peacefully and effectively with integrity? Is that what I'm hearing, or something different?
Yes, yeah, that's certainly, we need to be able to be both seen and valued more than what we have been in the past.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. So, President Putin, with me hearing that hope and vision of Russia having its appropriate place in the world and the world functioning optimally and integrally, may I share for a moment or so some thoughts to see if it makes sense for us to continue and have a longer conversation?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, if you were to grant me an audience with you personally, could be virtually or in person, and with people on your team of advisors, if you wanted anyone there, if you were to grant me 1 hour, sir, I would be able to demonstrate to you an alternative path out of the situation in the Ukraine for resolution, which would only dramatically raise the perceived value of Russia in the world. And, Mr. President, I am not confused that you're a very intelligent man. And I am not confused that this is an unbelievably complex situation that has created such dramatic polarization in the world, and in many respects, a very unified, substantial part of the world that is seeing Russia quite differently. I know you're strong. I know you're powerful. I know you are virtually fearless. And I am clear that what you want is the best for your nation, your great nation. And what I would do in this time is not ask you to simply capitulate, concede, to end this in any way that would do anything but raise the position of Russia and your leadership in the world. And I think there's true ways to resolve this ethically and integrally to achieve very substantial outcomes that would be in furtherance of your outcomes and goals, and would take Russia and the world out of this extraordinarily problematic and complex situation. So, Mr. President, would that be worth an hour of your time, sir? Or if you don't think it's there for that yet, an hour of time for your advisors to see if it's worth you hearing me out and the PowerPoints and numbers I have to share with you?
Send it to the advisors, get it scheduled, and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President, for your time. Out of roll. Ethan, how do I do as influencing President Putin to take steps towards ending this thing?
Well, I mean, you did phenomenal. Drawing it, or crossing what I'd call that personal relevance bridge all throughout what was incredible. And so you clearly built a connection with the character, and I thought that was great.
Well, thank you. And I am not confused, my friend, that you are a master of communication. I am super impressed by how you've approached things today, how thoughtful, articulate, and how schooled you are. And I don't say anything I don't mean. I assure you of that. Truly masterful. And thank you very much for being here today, Ethan. Done a wonderful job.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Jeralyn, thank you for the scenario. I felt your heart in that. Much gratitude. How do we do in the President Putin scenario?
You did great. I wish you could get over there and talk to him and he would give you an hour.
Well, thank you, Jeralyn. And I mean this sincerely. It is an honor for you to have been here in your leadership with your precious time, what you stand for in the world. And one of the most thankless things you could do is serve in a capacity for a nonprofit in a voluntary way and take leadership for all the arrows, all the slings, all the stuff that goes on that people will never know or see. Jeralyn, thank you for standing for attorneys in the state and for your leadership. It is much appreciated.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeralyn. And how was your time with us today?
It was good. I learned a lot. It was good.
Well, awesome. Well, hope to see some more. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go, Bella. Which way are we going? You want to go, Eric? Eric, yeah. How was your time today? Thank you for jumping into the very extraordinarily challenging position of participant and for your courage and vulnerability, Eric. How was your time with us today?
Yeah, it was great. I appreciate it. I was introduced to Craig Baumel. I'm not sure how you say it. Baumel, by someone I respect. I went to college with, and he's a great client, a great friend, and so I really appreciate his perspective. He was also a participant, so he told me if I got the opportunity, just do it. And I found out about an hour ago that I was a participant. So
Well,
Nice.
you did a wonderful job, Eric.
Way to
Wow,
jump in the
thank
seat,
you.
Eric.
Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
it was a pleasure. Thank you. How about Taisha? Thank you so much.
How about we had a few people that left, Sean, that had some meetings. So how about we go Ethan next?
Yes. Ethan, and final, how was your time with us today?
This was awesome. I love reinforcing how impactful just like a live audience and a practice session can be. And you guys do that so well. It's very organized. And something I'm definitely going to take back and double down on is just more role play in the team. We love to, to measure and to calculate what we do, but I think this will help us better prepare. And then it was just awesome hearing, the incredible things that the people on this call do with their lives, have accomplished, and are looking to now go do even more of. So it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure for us as well. Thank you, Ethan. Bella.
Let's go Zachary.
Zach, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
sure.
How
Yeah,
was
thanks
your time?
for having me. Yeah, my experience was great. As a sort of a young gun here, I've only been practicing law for under just about 3.5, 4 years, and I'm just now thinking about like learning how to generate business and seeing how I can put myself out there and make a brand for myself. And I think that this is a very valuable experience on that front. I'm learning a lot about how to talk to people and how to figure out what they need and how I can connect the dots in that sense. So I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to participate.
Well, thank you, Zach. And that is a brilliant way to be thinking. I was 6 months out of law school when I quit my job at Lawrence, not disparaging them in any way, wonderful people, incredible firm, and started my own law firm, $100,000 in debt on my credit card. It was the scariest year of my life and one of the most profoundly enriching. I'm certainly not suggesting that you do that or anybody does that. But yes, thinking about how you become a business generator is the pathway to creating your freedom in all the beautiful ways. So I wish you the best at that, Zach. Belle.
Let's go Courtney.
Courtney, please. Thank you so much for being here. Wonderful work. And how was your experience?
Well, thank you again for having me. I think the best thing that I can say is I'm trying to convince myself to do more things outside of my comfort zone. And this certainly has been one of those things.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. And, if I were giving you that scenario earlier, I probably would have given you a scenario that I'm probably going to have to face as a fundraiser for a law school, which is how to convince a disassociated, disgruntled alum to donate to the law school. So this is super helpful in learning how to just communicate like fine points. And I really appreciate everyone and learning from all of you as someone who's new to a new field. Being able to take bits and pieces of what you've all offered has been really great.
Yeah, Courtney, thank you for that. Hear them, see them, as Oprah said, and have what they say matters until they're done and complete. And then ask permission with great empathy and acknowledgement for all their pain, all their upset, all their frustration. What, if anything, can possibly be done to add enough value to reconnect them to the beautiful Hofstra legal system? And that would be the beginning. But Oprah said it. She held the microphone for 30,000 human beings because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters. And there could be no greater truth. Few humans truly get that listening. You give that listening and you have an opportunity to move forward. Not promising anything, but an opportunity. And then, of course, there's the beautiful question of what can be done to bridge just the possibility of keeping a pinhole of light open for re-engaging this person. It would begin there. And hopefully that was a little bit helpful.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Belle.
And last but not least, we have the Jay Levine.
Jay, great job again. Brother, final. How was it? Yes.
Just what's always present to me towards the end of these shows is that, you know, our businesses are all built on these types of shared experiences. No matter what the shared experience is, that's what starts the relationships. And the hardest thing in business is to gather the ideal avatars. And when you sit in a room like this with, you know, 9 or 10 ideal avatars, it's just a blessing to be able to not only learn, grow, but then connect with these amazing people afterwards. So that is my biggest takeaway here is let this not be the end, you know?
Yeah, amen. Love you, Jay. Appreciate you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. We have more to do together. There's all sorts of different beautiful possibilities. Let's communicate more. We'll have some people from the team reach out. If your experience was positive, there's a lot more. It's the tip of the iceberg. Bella was in your seat. And Belle, final.
Yes, I was in your seat a couple of years ago. And when we got done with the show, I was like, oh, I can't wait to talk to someone so I can tell them all the things that they could do better. And I could teach Sean a thing or two about influence. That's how naive I was. Because I thought, hey, I'm really good at sales. I won the competition and won the show. So let's go. And I quickly discovered that there is a huge difference between influence and sales. And I decided to join the program and the team here, and it has been nothing short of extraordinary. Everything that I've learned about influence mastery, process mastery, and self-mastery to grow has been extraordinary. So if you have the opportunity to talk with one of our teammates, definitely take that opportunity. Back to you, Sean.
And Belle, this show wasn't what it is until you joined, and I've learned a ton from you as well. We are all here to learn, and I do believe that while I may be physically blind, and we are certainly super grateful for being here, I do think that we're actually at some level all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Great job.